Hello everybody, my name is Danni Wells and I am a Regional Vice President with Arbonne International, and for you guys that are guests on the call tonight or watching the recorded, that probably means absolutely nothing to you, but worry not, because myself and Emma are going to give you an overview of what it is about Arbonne, what it is that we both love about this business, how we both got started. And my title as being a Regional Vice President will hopefully become clear as we go through the presentation this evening. So I'm going to now hand over to the wonderful Emma Dickinson, who actually introduced me to the business Arbonne 3 years ago. Well, coming up to 3 years actually, almost our 3-year anniversary. Emma is an incredible mum to 3. I won't take away anything from her story, but she's an amazing, amazing person, and I'm grateful every single day. And she's not as soppy as me, so she hates it when I say this, but I'm grateful every single day that Emma gave me the opportunity to listen to what it was she had to say about Arbonne and let me decide if it was going to be a fit for me or not, and it absolutely was. But I'm so grateful that Emma just enabled me to make that choice for myself by giving me all the information that I needed. So I'm going to hand over to the very beautiful Emma Dickinson, who's going to give you an overview of her life up until Arbonne, how she heard about the business and how she got started, really. So over to you, beautiful Emma.
Thank you. Okay, so yes, I'm an executive district manager with Arbonne International. Now, I used to be a teaching assistant in a special needs school, which I absolutely loved. But for anybody that knows, working in education isn't the best of pay. So in order to make up for the lack of money, I had another 2 jobs. So I worked 60 hours across 3 jobs in a chip shop and a coffee shop as well. And that funded quite a lavish lifestyle. I then fell pregnant with my first child and quickly realised I wasn't going to be able to work 60 hours a week with a baby. It just wasn't going to work. So I had to give up some of my jobs and start working part-time, which meant I had to give up my nice car and a few other things, and started living a not so lavish lifestyle.
You did have a nice car, I remember.
It was great, which was fine. We all have to make sacrifices when we start a family. But I was sort of desperate to find something that I could do to earn a little bit extra money alongside being at the school part-time. And I tried various different things and nothing seemed to work for me. And then one day I came across a post on Facebook from somebody that I knew, Executive Regional Vice President Zoe Allen, and she was in Vegas with her children, working from her laptop by the pool, and I was like, I just need a job where I just need my laptop and I can work wherever I want to work, and that's fine, that's what I need to do. So I messaged a mutual friend of ours, Executive Regional Vice President Laura Leggett, and said, I don't suppose you know what Zoe does, do you? And she's like, yes, I'll tell you all about it. So she actually introduced me to the business because she was doing it herself as well. And this opened up a whole new world to me, a way that I was going to be able to make money from home. And by this point in my life, I had a second child. My youngest was 9 months old. So I have Blake, who is 6, and Emily, who is now 3. And I also have Ellis. But when I started Arbonne, he wasn't quite in the picture yet. So I started my Arbonne business, and Daniela was literally one of the first people that I introduced to Arbonne, and she literally flew away with it, and she's just been incredible. It's for me, I took it more slowly. We've taken very different journeys. So Daniela was very much an all-in, and she'll tell you her story. I have very much enjoyed my journey and used it to earn a part-time income. So within 6 months, I had replaced my income from the school. So I was able to stay at home and become a stay-at-home mom as I had my 3rd child, which was brilliant, because putting 3 children into childcare is just extortionate, and it just wasn't going to be an option for us. So it was really nice to replace that part-time income. And over the last 3 years, I've built that income up with the help of my team and with the help of Daniela. So I now earn more than I did when I was actually working full-time at the school as well. And we're working towards bigger things as the children get older. So my youngest is now 2. And life's getting a little bit easier, so I'm able to put a little bit more in, and I'm getting ready to move on to the next levels. So Daniela, did you want to tell a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I will. Emma missed out a very vital part then. We actually met in the Air Cadets when, how old were you, Emma?
13. I just started the cadets.
I tell you what, we need to dig out a photo.
I don't think there was any.
I don't recall either, but it'd be so good. If anyone's got a photo of me and Emma in the Air Cadets, let us know. We're in the Melton Mowbray Squadron. So that's how we first met. Facebook wasn't really around then, so we didn't really stay in contact. And then we then met again when Emma first had Blake, like she just said, her first child, and I had my first child. And so we reconnected again through play groups. And this is pre-Arbonne. So we'd reconnected and we were friends, we'd see each other. Emma was the person running around with a camera taking photos. I think as was I think we were probably the only person at playgroups that were just taking loads and loads of photos. And we had lots of fun. And me and Emma are very different. And I think that Emma's already made a valid point that we have built our businesses in different ways. But I think that if you can take one thing from this call tonight, know that Arbonne is just a company that provides phenomenal products. What you do with the company and what you do with the information is completely your choice. And you can build the business however you want. And that's exactly what me and Emma have done in very different ways. And I think it's great that we've got this platform to be able to share that with you all. So going back to my journey, I've got two children, two little girls, and at the minute they are 5 and 6. But way back when I had my first daughter and I was pregnant with my second, I was working at an optician's and I really enjoyed my job. I was going back and forth to the opticians, pulling in a monthly paycheck, as you do. My husband was bringing in his monthly paycheck and everything was pretty much rosy. We had enough money to get by and things were fine. What happened to us was that when our second daughter was born, we didn't plan for the unpredictable to happen, which I think a lot of people don't. And I don't know about anybody on the call right now. You might be working or your spouse might be working and you're pulling in that monthly paycheck. But do you have like a plan B in place, like a savings account or assets or investments or some kind of plan B income where if the unpredictable happens and you're out of work for 6 months or your spouse is out of work for 6 months, can you survive on your plan B income, your savings? And what happened to us was we had no plan B income. My daughter was born and she was born with a brain hemorrhage and a stroke, and she's absolutely fine now. But back then she spent a lot of her early life in hospital, and that meant that I couldn't work and my husband had to take time off work to also be with her. So we still had the same bills going out like everybody else does, the same bills, your rent, your gas, your electric, all of that, but we had no income because we had no plan B income. And I think that's what makes me so passionate about Arbonne now, because I love helping other people build an income where you're preparing for impact, because you don't know if someone's going to fall down the stairs and break their back and be out of work for 6 months. You don't know if your child's going to be poorly and you're going to be out of work. So it's having that plan B income for in case you need it. So I was really grateful that Emma actually invited me over for a coffee one day after I'd seen one of her Facebook posts about her new business, working with the children. It intrigued me. I'd left the opticians at this point due to my youngest daughter needing me to be with her in and out of hospital. So we were literally scraping the barrel financially. We had zero money. In fact, we had very little money. We were actually going the wrong way. We were going in debt every single month. So when Emma first told me about Arbonne, my first thought was somebody has opened up a door and said, here is a chance to build an income around my daughter being in hospital, around my husband working full time, from my phone or my laptop. And Emma was the first person that opened a door for me. There was no other options. No one else was throwing options my way of building a full-time income on my phone around my children. So although I had no time and I had no money to really get started with a business, and I had all of the reasons why I couldn't do this, like many of us do, it was also the only opportunity that anyone had given to me. So I literally jumped at the opportunity and I was like, I'm all in. And I paid for my website, which is in UK sterling, £56. Obviously, currency varies depending on where you are in the world. I bought my website and bought myself some products, and I literally jumped straight in. And like Emma said, from the moment I got started, I planned that I'd be able to retire my husband within the year. So I was all in. And you don't have to build your business being all in, but I was. And I think that's what me and Emma are going to share with you tonight, how I built mine, how she's built hers. So what I'm going to do, I can talk, as you've probably already noticed. So Emma, just wrap me up if I start going on a little bit. I'm going to share with you guys a slideshow, and it's not death by PowerPoint. It is a really nice slideshow with lots of visuals, and it's basically to keep Emma and myself on track, so we can just give you the key bullet points of this business without going off on a tangent, because as you can probably tell, we both get very passionate about this business. So we just want to give you an overview, and if you've got questions at the end, that's great. We love questions. We love to talk more about the business. We would suggest that at the end of the call, contact myself or Emma or whoever introduced you to the business and ask them your questions. I'm sure that they will love to tell you all about Arbonne as much as me and Emma. So Arbonne, if you're on the call now and you've never heard the word Arbonne in your entire life and you're thinking, what is this? Basically, it is a company that's been around for 37 years. So when Emma first explained it to me, I was thinking, great, well, it's a well-established company. It's not just popped out of the ground a couple of years ago and not quite sure where it's going to be in the next few years. So it's well-established. That ticked my box. It is a company that was founded by a man. There's actually a photograph of him at the bottom of the screen in the red glasses. He is called Petter Mork. Now, he's actually very important because he's a Norwegian and he is a botanist. So he was really into plants and how you can take extracts of plants and mix them with science and get them to do something. And what he had this idea to create a company that provided skincare and nutrition that was free of all the toxins that back in 1980 every single company out there was putting into their products. He could see that all the skincare companies put toxins into their products to make them cheap, so they had a bigger profit margin. And he also could see that a lot of companies were testing on animals, they were using animal byproducts, they were not doing it right. So he wanted to be the first person to create a company that did it right. And that's exactly what he did. Now, the only thing about Arbonne was to create these phenomenal products, which we're going to touch on in a moment. They would have an enormous price tag with them. Of course they would. So what he decided to do was, instead of market his products through the shop route and pay for celebrity endorsements, he decided that Arbonne would be a company that only moves their products through word of mouth recommendations. That brings the price point down significantly, as I'm sure you can imagine with anything that goes through the shop route, the price goes up drastically. So this meant that people were able to get their hands on these incredible, very unique products that had a really great price point to them. And we're going to touch on that a little bit more in a few moments. We're also a member of the DSA. Now, if you're like me, when I first started Arbonne, I had no clue what the DSA meant, but it's actually really important. It is a company called the Direct Selling Association. The best way I can describe the DSA is, if you think to people being electricians, gas people, probably not explaining that right, people that do gas, they have to be Corgi registered, which I don't think the word's Corgi anymore. I think it's something else, but hopefully you'll know what I'm talking about. So they have to have that umbrella that basically says that they're in alignment with where they should be. So there are lots of network marketing companies out there, but not all of them are doing it the right way. The way that you know if a network marketing company is a good company is if they have the DSA stamp. It is very hard to obtain. They keep everything in line with where it should be. And Arbonne has the DSA stamp. Now that, for me, once I understood what that was, I was thinking, that is incredible. So I love that Arbonne has that DSA stamp. It's really important. The products basically mix the best of nature. So we have botanical-based ingredients, so it's sourced from around the globe, and they mix them with high science. So recently we've just reformulated our anti-aging range, and they actually have found a way to extract orange stem cells from the oranges and implement them into the anti-aging skincare, which gives your skin absolutely incredible results. So I love that, because we're using fantastic ingredients on our families, but yet the products do something. So when we use an eye cream that says it's going to diminish fine lines and dark circles, it actually does, which is incredible. These products are amazing. They're vegan certified, so anybody that knows, the vegan stamp is not easy to obtain. They have to go back years and years to see where all the ingredients were sourced. They have to even check what the nets are made out of when they are using the nets in the sea, to make sure that there's nothing animal related that is contaminated that at all. So we have the vegan stamp, which is incredible. So everybody wants free from animal testing products. Everybody wants free from animal byproducts. We also have a Swiss heritage. So again, Swiss heritage means that we're high quality. You've only got to think of the Swiss watches and the Swiss chocolate. So incredible, absolutely incredible company.
Okay, so what's also important is what we don't have in our ingredients. So as a company, our ethos is to be pure, safe and beneficial. So pure basically means we're working diligently to understand the latest science. We want to make sure that all of the ingredients that we use are exactly that, pure, and everything's botanically based, and we try to avoid anything that's chemically harmful in any way. Which brings us to the point of us being safe. We do our absolute best to remove any chemicals. So there's a lot of things in our ingredients that we have never had, that a lot of companies do use despite them being unsafe. One of these is mineral oil. So this is a byproduct of the petrol industry. And when they extract the oil from underneath the ocean, they're left with this like cling film effect oil that just sits on top of everything. And they can't do anything with it. They can't put it back into the ocean. So what they do is sell it to the cosmetic companies to bulk out their products. So if you have a look at the back of your ingredients, the back of your products at the ingredient list, usually it will say aqua first, which is the number one ingredient that goes into it, which means that's what the most is. The second most ingredient in there is likely to be mineral oil in some form. So this will consist of petroleum, petrolatum, paraffin. There's about 30 odd names for it, just to try and cover it up. We also don't have any artificial flavours, sweeteners, colours, talc, which is becoming more and more, people are becoming more and more aware of using the talc as being a danger. Also parabens. So if you think about when you purchase a product from the shop, it may have been sitting on that shelf for some time. And in order to sell in a shop, they need to have a minimum of 7 years shelf life. So this basically means that they have to put a preservative into it to make it last longer. And quite often they use parabens. Now, parabens, I can't tell you that they cause cancer, but what I can tell you is that they have been found within cancer tumours. So the same paraben that is used within a women's deodorant is found within a women's breast cancer tumour. And obviously we know the armpit and the breast is linked. So obviously you can make your own mind up about that. More and more companies are becoming aware of the dangers of parabens and starting to not use them. But the fact is we have never ever used anything like this that is dangerous. And each year we are removing more and more ingredients as science advances, and we find even safer ingredients to use. I think this year, was it another 18 ingredients that got removed, Danni?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, just because of, like you say, knowledge and further research.
And we will always endeavour as a company to be the best. And if we discover that there's a better alternative, Arbonne will use that as best as they can. So this slide just goes to show you a little bit about our scientific advisory board. So there's a few names here. These guys work together to basically create, as I was just saying in the previous slide, to create something that is safe, pure, safe and beneficial. Danni, did you want to expand on that one at all?
No, the only thing I'd say about the scientific advisory board, because for me, when I first saw this, it didn't mean a lot to me, but I actually have, and Emma's the same, we actually have built an amazing network between us of independent consultants. And actually there's quite a few doctors and consultants within the team. And it was seeing this slide that they said, oh my gosh, you've got Chris Zachary on your board of advisors. And I was thinking, yeah. And they were like, we know him. So for the people that are in this profession, seeing these people be sort of the head of our scientific advisory board is absolutely massive. So you're probably thinking, okay, well, the company sounds great. I'm loving the core values. I love the ethos of Arbonne, but what products do they actually do? And that's a really great question, because that was one of my thoughts as well. Arbonne actually have 4 main categories, and it's all wrapped up in the health and wellness industry. So the first category is skincare, and we do skincare for every type of skin. We've got men's skincare, we've got anti-aging for women, and what we'll just mention is a lot of men's skincare sold in the shops and on the high street is actually identical to women's, but with a slightly different fragrance in and repackaged and sold slightly cheaper, which is quite sneaky, if you may. So Arbonne actually have a different skincare formulation for men, because their skin is different to ours. It's thicker. They've obviously got the hair follicles coming through. It's completely different. So we have a different men's care to the women's. We have dry skincare, we have oily skincare, we have sensitive skincare, we have acne prone skincare, we've got baby skincare. We've literally got something for every type of skin, which is incredible. And not only do we have the skincare products that you can see, we also have a skincare device, which means that when people are wanting to really reduce the signs of aging, applying products with your fingers doesn't give you the best results. It's okay, but it's something even better. And what that is a skincare device that penetrates skincare deeper into the skin. And a lot of people will go to a cosmetologist or go to a salon to have this kind of treatment. Arbonne last April launched a Genius Ultra device, which is ultrasound technology. It's incredible, so that people can have it in their homes. It penetrates the skincare much deeper into the skin. I use it every morning and every night. I absolutely love it. It's got 2 patents attached to it, and it is game changing. It's absolutely incredible. Then we've got the nutrition, because of course, what's the point in putting great products on our skin if from the inside out we aren't at our peak? Arbonne do an incredible nutrition line, which is all vegan, as is everything else. We are free from all of the known allergenics, so it's a really great range, especially if you're like me. And pre-using these products, I would go to bed, I'd wake up in the morning, usually to my kids pulling at me. For those of you that are parents, you know exactly what I mean. I would wake up grumpy. I would wake up tired. I never woke up in the morning feeling like I'd had a good night's sleep and that my body had recovered and I was ready for the day. And I found that the reason why I never felt great was because I wasn't fueling my body correctly. I was putting into my body a load of rubbish. So when I started using the Arbonne nutrition, what I found was my body felt incredible. It felt like what it used to feel when you're a child and you've got absolutely no worries at all. So the Arbonne nutrition is great. Not only what's in it, but it also enables your body to absorb all of the greatness in there. So we've got fiber, we've got omega-3, we've got fizz sticks, which are drinks. So if you're a coffee addict like I was, we've got a great healthier alternative. We've got sports products. There's literally everything in there. Then we've got personal care. So this is your hand wash, your deodorant, like Emma's already mentioned. Toothpaste, we've got a fantastic spa range that I love. It's called Rescue and Renew. So it's got essential oils in. So for you guys that want to come home from work and feel like you've got a spa in your bathroom, we've got that. We've got hair care and everything from top to toe that's in your personal care category. And then lastly, we've got makeup. So everybody, well, not everybody, half the population love makeup. Now this was for me when Emma was first telling me about the business. I was not interested in skincare, I wasn't interested in nutrition, and I didn't really shower as much as probably what I should have done. But when I said to her, I wear makeup, I was like, what's the makeup like? And she said, the makeup's amazing. So I bought the foundation, I bought the mascara, and that for me was what made me see how great this company is. I'd never used anything as good as what this makeup is. It is absolutely and just a very, very unique range of makeup. And it's like skincare, but with colour pigments in it. So I don't recommend anybody falls asleep in their makeup, but if you did, you would be fine, because it doesn't congest the skin, it's non-comedogenic, it's lovely, lovely entire skincare line there. I love the makeup. What's your favourite product, Emma?
Well, mine was the nutrition that drew me, and like you, I wasn't really interested in skincare. I took my makeup off with baby wipes, if that. And you know, I showered with whatever was on offer when I did Asda. And makeup, again, I bought cheap makeup as well. So it was the nutrition that really drew me in. But then as time's gone on, I've literally fell in love with everything. And I've gone from the girl that didn't know how to put foundation on to the girl that's now showing everybody how to put foundation on. It's amazing what it teaches you.
It is. So this is our new and reformulated anti-aging skincare range. I actually use this. Do you use this, Emma? The RE9?
I haven't used the new one yet. It's on my order list, ready to get.
Yeah, it's only just been reformulated, so it's literally launched about a week or two ago. It's been 3 years in the making, and they've actually, as with all of Arbonne's products, and me and Emma haven't mentioned this actually, Arbonne actually pay to have their products clinically tested. They're actually blind tested in New York, which is really interesting because a lot of companies can pay to have their products blind tested, but they won't, because when you do this, the results have to be published, and the companies know that their results are not going to come up to what they claim to be. Arbonne's CEO, Kay Zanotti, who, interestingly enough, was the lady that was headhunted in to bring up McDonald's when it was going through that massive dip, you know, supersize me dip, when it was going through about to be no more, when McDonald's was about to be gone. They brought Kay Zanotti in. She was called Kay Napier then. She's been married. And they brought her in to bring McDonald's back up, and she did just that. And she actually also was a big forefront for Procter & Gamble. So this woman is incredible, and she actually came over to Arbonne about 10 years ago now, I believe, and she insists on all of our products being blind tested, clinically tested, so that the results are published, and they always come out on top. They're tested against the leading brands, and they're tested against all other network marketing brands. So this new formulation has also been tested, and it's come out on top again, which is just incredible. Oh, hang on, you're muted, Emma. Let me unmute you.
Oh,
there we go.
Sorry. So the Genius Ultra, Danni, I actually want you to do this one because I know it's something you're really passionate about, and so you could really tell everybody about this probably better than I can.
Okay, this is fabulous. I was actually in Las Vegas last year. Arbonne do a global training conference once every year, and it's always in Las Vegas so that we can all go along to it. And they actually launched this in Las Vegas last year, and it's sold out on the night of them launching it. I think they launched it about 8 p.m. and by about 10 p.m. they'd sold out. I believe it was about 30,000 I think that they'd made, and they were all gone in that night. Then they went on to back order until September. This was April last year. They went on back order until September. It is a at-home device that's got 3 heat settings, so you can have it at a medium heat, you can have it slightly higher, or at the highest heat. And what it does, it penetrates the product that you put onto your skin further into your skin. So our skin's made up of about 7 layers from top to bottom. It pushes the product right down to the dermis layer, so right down to the bottom layer. So for me, I've always found that I've got dark circles under my eyes, I've got crow's feet around my eyes like a lot of us do, and what I found was using this product with the Arbonne eye cream, within about 2 weeks my eyes looked like I was 10 years younger. It is incredible. I'm actually 30, and I find since I've been using the Arbonne product, I get ID'd everywhere that I go. So I put it all down to using these products. So this Genius Ultra is an incredible at-home device that I find a lot of my clients say they're used to having what this does, but they're used to paying about £1,000 to have this treatment done at a salon. They go for about 6 weeks, 6 different sessions lasting half an hour to an hour each, and now they've got a device that they can use at home, and it's got 2 patents on it as well, so it's got the teardrop effect, and it's really, really lovely. I actually own 3. You don't need to own 3, but I just love it so much.
Okay, so our nutrition range, like I said earlier, this is what I sort of really fell in love with. So like Daniela mentioned earlier, years ago I was a bit similar in that my diet was pretty much a disgrace. I grew up on chicken nuggets and pasta, and I literally didn't eat any vegetables until I had children and decided I better start eating vegetables if I want them to. But what I realised was once I started using the Arbonne nutrition range, I had energy and I wasn't tired, I wasn't bloated, I wasn't hungry and craving sugary snacks. So I literally fell in love with this range. And we have a 30 Days to Healthy Living and Beyond program. And this basically helps people to get into good habits around food and around nutrition. And if you cut out things like dairy, soy, refined sugar, gluten for 30 days, it actually creates a really, really good habit that you can keep going for the rest of your life if you wish. What I find a lot of people do, and a lot of my clients, I'm sure Danni you're the same, is I'll have people that do the full program maybe 2 or 3 times a year and then continue to use the rest of the products throughout the year as well. So they're still using the protein or the meal replacement shakes. For me, myself, I have a protein smoothie every morning, and my 3-year-old daughter, she loves to have some as well. So we have energy fizz sticks, so they're a healthy alternative to energy drinks, basically. They fuel you with a minuscule amount of caffeine, but actually they fuel you with vitamins and minerals rather than refined sugar. So you don't get that sugar crash that you get when if you were to drink a Red Bull, for example. We also have no artificial colours, flavours or sweeteners, and obviously everything is vegan certified as well. Okay, so what is social marketing? So the best way to explain this business model and why Daniela and I are sharing this on a call rather than sharing it in a shop is if you think about the products that you purchase through traditional retail, like from a shop. So they're made in the manufacturers, and then they go off to the wholesalers, and they're distributed off to various places. So say, for example, in the UK, it would go to Asda, to Sainsbury's, to Boots. And once it gets there, you've got everybody there. So again, I'll use Asda as an example. Everybody that works in Asda needs to get paid. So the people that are going to stack the shelves, the people that clean, the people that serve on the tills, the people that work in the head office, and then you've got all the advertising costs as well. So the people that are paid, the celebrities are usually that are paid to say L'Oreal, I'm worth it, that costs thousands and thousands of pounds. So for most companies, 85 to 90% of their profit goes to all of that. So only 10% is the actual cost of the product. So if you were buying a bottle of shampoo for £4, it probably only cost 4p to make. So that in itself should be ringing alarm bells. Yes, it may have a good ingredient in, but it's going to be a minuscule amount, and then it's going to be topped up with cheaper bulking ingredients. And we sell and share via social marketing. So we're cutting out all of those middlemen, which is why you may not have heard of Arbonne until now, or until somebody's introduced you to it. And you may not have heard of network marketing or social marketing or multi-level marketing until today. And because we cut out all of those middlemen, we completely rely on consultants like Danni and myself to share about the products, and actually even the clients that aren't getting paid to recommend it, they do. We rely on word of mouth, which is why we as a company are so passionate about the products being really, really good quality. They sell themselves. I have got to admit, I am not a very good salesperson, but what I can do is give somebody some products to try for 3 days, and the products are so good. A lot of the time people come back and say, yes, I would like to purchase that, please. And that's exactly how it works. We're recommending things all of the time. We get to be our own boss. So I work when I want to. And as I said at the beginning of this video, I've worked part-time around my 3 children. It's been a pretty demanding 3 years with having 2 children very close to each other and one starting school. So I've been able to build it at my own pace and work when I want to and where I want to, and put my children into nursery when I was ready to, rather than because I had to go back to work. It's been extra cash, and it's becoming a full-time income for me now. I get to be present for my family and my friends, and I get to have like the freedom of choosing when to go on holiday, whereas before, when I was a teaching assistant, the school basically told me when I was to go on holiday. So it was no fun, and it is nice to have those choices.
Yeah, and like Emma said, it's so straightforward learning how to do social marketing. And I'm not going to say it's easy, because nothing is easy. Not any business is easy, but it's very straightforward, because when Emma first explained it to me, I jumped at the opportunity, because as I said at the beginning, it was the first opportunity I thought that had come my way, that I thought, yeah, I can learn how to do this. And I said to Emma, I'm not sure how I'm going to do this, but I very quickly was reassured, because as long as you're a genuine, honest person and you make genuine recommendations on a day-to-day basis anyway, if you go to the supermarket and you see a great offer, you share that on Facebook, or if you go into the cinema and see, for me, I've recently seen Beauty and the Beast, and I think I've told about 100 people that have then gone on my recommendation to the cinema to see it. If you make genuine recommendations, you are already doing Arbonne. If you were to have a different shampoo in your shower and you used it and you thought, oh my gosh, this shampoo smells incredible, it's free from the nasties, it means I don't have to wash my hair as often, which I definitely find now. I never wash my hair once a week now, it doesn't get as greasy as often. If you use something and you find it works for you, you naturally want to tell other people, and it's their choice whether they choose to buy that shampoo or not. Like Emma said, we let people use the products. Everything's got a full 6-week money back guarantee if they decide to purchase anything, which is always reassuring, although I find that no one ever does send anything back, because the products are so good. They create a really loyal regular ordering customer base, which is incredible. If I didn't do this business as a business, I would certainly have my house filled with Arbonne products still. The products are great. So why Arbonne, why now? Social marketing is booming. You've only got to look at other companies like Tesco's and Vistaprint that years ago didn't do social marketing, but now they are. Now they are paying people to give word of mouth recommendations. Everywhere is catching on that they are better off advertising through a word of mouth recommendation. And like Emma's already said about Arbonne, from day one doing a lot of these things, another thing that Arbonne have done from day one is this word of mouth recommendation. Companies that have been around for years and years are only just starting to catch on that that's the best way to move a product. People are getting sick of seeing celebrities on TV saying, buy this mascara, it makes your eyelashes look really long, and then you see in small print it says the model is wearing false eyelashes. We are a switched on society these days, and we want honesty, and that's exactly what you get from Arbonne. You get honesty from a consultant that actually cares about how that product is for you. And Emma's exactly the same as what I am and what thousands of other consultants are. Our aim is not for somebody to buy a product. Our aim is for somebody to be happy with something that we have recommended for them. So we want to catch up with them. If somebody's bought a mascara, we want to check that mascara is suitable. We want to make sure they've got the right colour if they've ordered a foundation, and we actually care. Whereas before Arbonne, I was buying my products from a counter. That consultant or the person that was on the counter in the shop did not care less if the lipstick I was buying was the right shade for me. They were not bothered. They were just waiting until they could clock off and go home. Whereas when you work with Arbonne, you're self-employed and you actually care. And I think that's the big thing that people find when they are a client or a customer to the Arbonne products. They have a consultant that really cares a lot about what there is that they're getting, which is great. It's also a great way for people to build a leverageable income. So I'm gonna tell you about how this works for me. So I've had my online business for coming up to 3 years, and every now and again I go away on holiday. And last year I went away to Cyprus for 2 weeks with my family, and I completely shut off from my phone, and my website is running 24/7. So during that 2 weeks I was in Cyprus, all of my customers and clients know how to access my website. They get their own login details the first time they purchase something. They get their automatic login details. They can go on time and time again. A bit like Amazon, a bit like how people log on to Amazon and time again they can shop for products and they're automatically delivered to their door. That's the same process that Arbonne works in. So I was on holiday for 2 weeks, my husband and my 2 daughters, and I came back home 2 weeks later and I had a look on my online website, and my online website in the 2 weeks that I'd been gone had generated £40,000 of purchases in that 2 weeks that I had personally been on the beach, not really looking at my phone. And I earned a percentage of that. And I believe that during that 2 weeks, I think I'd earned about £2,000 or £3,000 while I was away. Now, I'm not saying that if you start an Arbonne business, that's going to be the case in the first month. Absolutely no. But if you build up a loyal, regular ordering customer and client base, given time, and if you're a great consultant who people like and they love to ask you for advice, you're going to build up a phenomenal business, which is exactly what Emma's done and exactly what I've done. So now every time I go away on holiday, I can completely shut off. My phone gets put down. I'm away for 2 weeks or however long it is. My website is running 24/7. So I'm earning money, even though I'm not physically there, getting my key out to unlock my shop and open the shop door. Now that, for what I find, the consultants that join my business and Emma's network and Emma's business, this is key for them because they're busy people. They've got busy lives. They've got busy jobs. But when they stop their job, they don't get paid. When my husband's a tiler, if he doesn't put tiles on a floor or a wall in a kitchen or a bathroom, he doesn't get paid. So when he goes on holiday, he doesn't get paid. So I find that a lot of consultants start an Arbonne business for that exact reason. It's that leveraging your time, which is just, it's unheard of. It's like having made a book, you've done the work, and that book sells time and time again on Amazon, and you're earning a percentage of that. So it's almost like a residual type passive income, which is great. So social marketing is the business model of the future. I think we've made that really, really clear. It's a great way to build relationships, and it's a great way to build your own confidence as well. Emma and myself would never have been on a call like this 3 years ago. Our confidence has grown massively from the business, and it also builds you a massive friendship base. So Emma and myself have both got so many friends now that we didn't have 3 years ago, and it's a great way to connect with people who are like you, who want to help other people, who want to give to charities, who want to volunteer, who want to actually make a difference to other people's lives, which is really, really great.
Okay, so something that's really exciting. If you have a business, you will know that it's got to be online at the moment. The world is becoming more and more online, whether we like it or not. Technology is advancing so much at a phenomenal rate. It's crazy. So we are able to actually build a business from our phone. So we have an app to shop from, and our clients can shop from that also. So we don't even have to log on and shop for them. They can do it straight from their smartphone. We also have an office app. So this is where, as consultants, we can check our stats and see what our team are up to and see how much is being sold via our websites. And so we can do that also from our phone, which is great because I'm sure, Daniela, that you're the same. Every morning, check to see what's been happening over the last 24 hours. And I don't have to sit with my laptop out. I can literally do that whilst I'm dishing up the kids' breakfast and then carry on with my day. Whether it's a day with my children or a day running my business, I don't have to worry because I've already been able to log on through my phone and not have to get files out or anything like that. It's fantastic.
And you don't have to pay. A lot of companies have to pay a monthly subscription, like several £100s a month for their website and things like this. Ours is free.
Yeah, so it's all comes in with the £56 that you spend when you become a consultant. All of this comes in free with it. So we also have something called The Source, which is basically Arbonne's university. That's where we learn everything. So we have at our fingertips so many resources and tools that we can use to grow and develop our businesses. So it is entirely up to me and entirely up to Daniela and entirely up to you how fast your business goes and how much effort you put in. But if you want to learn, you've got it all there ready to learn. There's just so much. We also have a digital toolkit, so we can create more resources ourselves. We can do before and after pictures, and we can use several other apps to, there's one called Photofy, thank you, where we can put words like onto a picture, but it's all there ready for us. So we've got the Arbonne stamps onto pictures, and obviously because we are doing social networking, a lot of us are building this via social media, so we can make fantastic Instagram posts and Facebook posts and short videos. So technology is a real key thing to our businesses at the moment. So it really is simple to do an Arbonne, to have your own Arbonne business. So when I first started, the first thing that I sort of made a commitment to do was stop buying my products from retail stores and paying their overheads. And then I started to enjoy the benefits of Arbonne products. And for me, it was a big change, because I was just buying the cheapest products that I could, and was now buying much more expensive style products. So that we are at an ultra premium level, but we don't, because we use social marketing and not through the retail method, it's not priced as it would be if it was sold in the shops. So we have access to luxury products at an affordable price, and that was a big difference to me. So I really enjoyed the benefits straight away. I started showing others how to redirect their spends and how to buy products from my website or from their own website, and started getting paid when people purchased Arbonne products after I had recommended them to them. And then I shared how to do the same. So I continued to share the products with people, with my friends and family and people that I meet on a daily basis. And I shared a lot of, one of my favourite things is actually coming from an education background, is educating people on how to use better, healthier and safer products. And if I get nothing from it, I'm happy knowing that I have given somebody some information that they can use to make their own mind up about things and educate somebody, and also share with people how to build their own businesses within our networks.
So it starts with you. So when Emma first introduced me to Arbonne and I said, yeah, I absolutely want to do this, I joined the website, which is really straightforward. And basically, I was the only person buying products from my website. My website was running 24/7, but it only had me buying toothpaste, deodorant, and some shampoo. And then other people started to notice a difference in me and were asking me, what is it that's changed about your hair? How have you lost weight? What's changed about your skin? Your children don't have irritated skin anymore that they used to. And people were asking me questions, to which I was saying, oh, I'm using this other brand called Arbonne. These products are great. People were seeing the difference with their own eyes and saying, well, how can I get these products? So I was then passing them on my website and saying, go on my website. This is it. I don't deal with any money. I don't deliver any catalogs. I don't deliver any products. It's all done on the cloud. You just log onto my website. If you find things that you want, you can obviously ask me for my opinion. Of course, that's what I'm here for. Other than that, just pop the products into your shopping basket online, pop your card details in, pop your address in. It will be delivered to your door in 2 working days via courier delivery. So what I found was in the first couple of months, I was building up a network of people that were wanting to use these products as well. My first paycheck was actually only £12.50, and I'll go into in a moment what I ended up earning as time went on. But I just wanted to say it starts off quite slow, and then the 4 or 5 people that were seeing the difference in me and then ordering the products for themselves were then telling their network. So people that I didn't know, they were telling their mum, they were telling their colleague at work, and then they were shopping on my website, which was incredible, because you're growing this network of people that you don't know. And it's a little bit like when Facebook first started with Mark Zuckerberg, and I believe he told 5 people about Facebook. They joined the Facebook network, and then they each told a handful of people each, and they each told a handful of people each, and now look how many people are on Facebook now. But actually not everybody knew Mark Zuckerberg personally. And that's kind of how an Arbonne business grows. It starts with you, and then you build up with a few people that want to use the products, and then they tell people, and they tell people, and they tell people, and you earn a percentage from everything that turns through your website, which is incredible. We're going to go through how much you can earn in a second. Now, one other thing I'll just say is that Arbonne, although it's been around for 37 years, the founder, Peter Mork, who was the massive visionary that had this passion for helping people, he decided that he wouldn't be a company that would just launch into every single country and not really take account of the country's cultures, you know, how they want the packaging of the products, how they want the products to be formulated, because some countries do formulate slightly different. For example, in Taiwan, they like their skin to be quite white. In the USA, they like a tan. So although we've all got the same products, some of them are tweaked slightly to suit the culture of the country. So what Pet and Mork decided to do was only launch into the USA and work out the culture and how people wanted the products. That was the first country he took his Swiss formulated company to. When it had found itself there, they then went into Canada. And then once they'd found themselves there, they then went into the United Kingdom and Australia 10 years ago, which are obviously both English-speaking countries. And then they went into Poland, the first non-English-speaking country. And so Poland has been absolutely so successful. The people there love their healthy products. So then what they did was they went into New Zealand, which is obviously connected quite closely to Australia. And then last year we went into Taiwan, which is our first country in the Asian market. And they are loving these products. And they love network marketing, social marketing. They love it. And now we're going into Germany. So we are slowly globalizing. And I'm really proud of that, because I do see companies launch into countries and not really take into account the culture and what they're like. And it's almost quite like rushed, so to speak. I love that Arbonne take their time. Although we know we're going into Germany, we're not going into Germany for another 12 months, because we need to get to know what they want, how they want the products to do, what they want the products to deliver. We're taking our time and we're doing it the right way, which I love about this.
Okay, so there are 4 different ways to earn an income with Arbonne. So the first one is your own commission. So this is the profit from your personal product sales. So this is when you personally recommend products to people and they go onto your website and purchase directly from your own website. You get paid a percentage of those sales. So the second way to earn money is override through your team. So when you become an independent consultant and you start to introduce more and more people to the business and teach them how to build their own businesses, this is basically getting paid for teaching them, which this is my favourite bit. Again, coming from education, that's what I love to do. So I love spending time with my team and showing them how to build their businesses. And from their sales, from what I teach them, I get an override on their businesses. And we also have a Mercedes-Benz cash bonus. So on the 3rd level of management, which we will explain shortly, we actually get given £500 or £600 a month to finance or lease a white Mercedes-Benz. Now we can have a Mercedes-Benz for £240 if we like and keep the rest of the cash, or we can have a Mercedes-Benz for £700 and put in a little bit extra ourselves. But either way, we're going to get that money from Arbonne for owning our own white Mercedes-Benz. And then also at every single level of this business, there is opportunity to earn a cash bonus. So it's although we're not a target-driven company, they will say, if your team turns over this amount, we will give you an extra £60, we will give you an extra £125. And with all 4 of those combined together, you really can create an exceptional business.
Do you want me to do this one?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so there are 4 levels to grow your business through in Arbonne. So everybody starts at the exact same point. So everybody starts an independent consultant, which is great. You cannot, no matter what, whether you've got a PhD, whether you've got, I don't know, a massive university degree, you can't bypass the levels. You have to grow your business to be able to promote through these levels. So everybody starts, it's a fair level playing field. Everybody starts in the same place. Then what happens is, as your business starts to turn over a monthly turnover of, I believe it's $2,500 a month, when your business turns that over a month, you are at the district manager level. So when you're a district manager, you earn an extra percentage on top of everything else Emma's already just mentioned. Now, for me, it took me 4 months to become a district manager, and Emma the same. And the average time is about 7 months. So you can do it much quicker. Some people, my goodness me, some people do it in a week. Some people take a few years. It really doesn't matter. The average income is £158.17 a month. Now, like me and Emma said at the beginning, when I started my business, I literally dove straight in, and my paycheck as a district manager was no less than £500 a month. It in fact was actually about £700 a month. So just to give you an idea of, yes, that's the average income, but you actually can far exceed that should you wish to. Then you've got level 2, which is an area manager. This is where your business is willable. So having children, this was really important to me. And I built my business to the area manager level within 6 months. And I was really driven by the fact that I could actually will this to my children. When I worked at the opticians, if anything happened to me and I was to pass away, I would have been fortunate if the opticians had sent me flowers at my funeral. They definitely wouldn't have paid my paycheck every single month for the next 60 years to my children. But Arbonne do, and they give that monthly paycheck to whoever you will your business to, and they actually do that for 6 generations deep. So your children would be your first generation, their children would be your second generation, and so on, which is incredible. My average income as an area manager was about £2,000 a month. So again, just giving you a bit of an idea. And that was where I was able to say to my husband, you can drop some days in the week and not work as much. So we then had the luxury of time then as well. Then you've got the 3rd level, which is a regional vice president. I reached this point within 11 months. I was determined to be in that white Mercedes within the year, and Emma gave me the keys to my white Mercedes when we had a big party that Arbonne throw you to celebrate the success of you and your team. My average income as a regional vice president is between about £5,000 and £7,000 a month. Now, this is fantastic because this is where you're earning what most people earn in a year. Suddenly you're earning that a month, which was the position that I then was in. And that was when I was able to come home to my husband and say to him, you can phone your boss and tell him you're no longer coming back to work, which was a dream that we had had. His boss wasn't a particularly very nice man. So he was able to do that, which was great. And everybody's got different dreams. You might want to donate massive amounts of money to charity. You might want to travel. You might want to buy your own house without even having to have a mortgage. Whatever people's dreams are personal to them. But if you've got, say, £7,000 a month, then you are then more likely to be able to pursue those dreams because financially you haven't got to worry and you've got much more free time, which is great. At the national vice president level, level 4, you've then built your business to the very top of the company. And this has actually been done in 6 months by a lady called Debbie Neal, and the average time is about 3 years roughly. Now, the lady who introduced my mentor, so her name's Susan McKenna, so she's in let's say our upline, which probably doesn't mean a lot to a lot of people, but a lady that me and Emma know very well. Susan started her Arbonne business 18 years ago when she was 53 years old. She was very successful in real estate in the USA, and she decided to start Arbonne because it was a residual type passive income, and real estate obviously is not. You earn an income based on the houses that you sell, and then that's it. Now, she decided to start an Arbonne business at the age of 53. She got to the top level within a year, and then she helped her daughter do the same. She now earns, so it's obviously 18 years later, and her business is just growing and growing and growing, even though she's, let's say, retired. She earns £100,000 a month, which is just, when I first heard that, it was almost unbelievable to me, but I've actually seen the proof of that. And she's quite funny, actually, because she says, what do I need £100,000 a month for? It's just crazy. So she donates the majority of it to different charities that are passionate to her, that she's passionate about, which is great. And I think I would love that 18 years later, I've got my Arbonne business and I've got so much income that I can just choose what charities I donate money to. I thought, what a great place to be in. At all 4 levels, you can also earn trips as well. So basically, like Emma said, it's not a target-driven company, but Arbonne do enable you, if you want to push yourself a little bit more, which you can choose to or not, if you do, you can actually earn trips. I describe this like by doing a bit of overtime, you can earn trips. And they announce trips all of the time. So for me, I've actually been to Arizona 3 times and earned that trip. I've earned a trip on a Caribbean cruise, which was lovely. I've earned a trip to the Bahamas, which I went to last year, took the whole family away, and then we went to Disney World off the back of that, which was great. And I've actually just earned a trip to Mexico, which I'm going on in October, as well as going to Las Vegas twice. So if you like to travel, this is a really great way to work full-time in your main job, do Arbonne on the side. If you've got a phone and you can download the app, you can build an Arbonne business and you can earn yourself trips, which is just incredible.
Okay, so the question is, where do you see yourself? So there's 3 different ways to join Arbonne. Obviously, in this call, we're focused on becoming an independent consultant. It's an opportunity video. But I'll just touch on the other bits first. So you can become a host to support the person that's introduced you to Arbonne and have some friends round for the evening, and let your independent consultant share their products with you and all of your friends. So you can have makeup, you can have a little pamper, and you can earn free products based on the amount of sales made on that evening. You can also become a client. So this is where you purchase at retail price from catalogue price, so direct from the website, direct from your independent consultant. Or if you think you're going to be purchasing regularly, most people actually become a preferred client. So you pay a small membership fee to have 20 to 40% off of the products. And this really makes sense to do this if you are going to be coming back as a customer each month. And then the best way to join Arbonne, in my eyes, is to become an independent consultant. So you can start your own business with a really low cost sign up fee, which is £56. So then you can enjoy 35 to 50% off of the retail price. Obviously, as a business owner, you are now purchasing these products at wholesale price, but you can use them at that price as well. So it's a really good bonus. And we have one of the best compensation plans in the world of network marketing. It really is incredible. Obviously, there's the opportunity to earn the Mercedes-Benz cash bonus and all the little trips and everything else that comes with it. With that £56, you get your website and access to all of the resources and tools so that you can learn. You also get some catalogues and some samples and access to more samples. And then the big thing for me is the personal development and growth that you can achieve yourself. So you'll find a lot of Arbonne consultants, we're really passionate about helping each other, and we want to help everybody to grow. And in order to do well in Arbonne, you want to be helping as many people to succeed. So your success is built on the success of other people, which is just amazing. And the personal development that we recommend and that we use just helps us to get there.
Okay, so to summarise, because we're coming to the end now, where do you sort of see, Emma's obviously just said where you see yourself. I want to ask you a couple of questions, because you're probably thinking the same as what every other person thinks when they are thinking of starting an Arbonne business. They're sat there thinking, sounds great, it's very simple, it makes complete sense, I just don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, and I don't know enough people, and I'm not a salesperson. But all of those things are what everybody thinks. And I want to ask you, if you are not completely happy with where you are right now, so if right now you don't have enough time, and right now you don't have enough disposable income, and right now you don't know enough people, you haven't got that personal development and confidence and everything that Emma was just talking about, where are you going to be in 5 years' time if you don't change anything? And if Emma hadn't have told me about Arbonne 3 years ago, I right now would still be in the exact same position, if not worse, where I was 3 years ago. More debt, still have no time, I would still not have the confidence. And so you have to change something to make a difference in your life long term. So I really want you to think about this. Where are you going to be in 5 years' time? Are you still going to be in the exact same place? Or are you going to make a change somewhere that's going to enable you in 5 years' time to say, I've been on all these holidays, I've been able to donate to charity, I've got all of this spare time now that I've been able to enable my spouse to leave their job or go part-time, or I've gone part-time, or all of the fun things that me and Emma have explained to you tonight that Arbonne's given us over the past 3 years. I want you to be able to say the same. And what everybody wants is different. But I want you to be able to say in 5 years' time, all of the great things that you wanted, you've been able to achieve because you made a change. And I hope that that changes Arbonne, because it's a great way to enable yourself to have these things in your life. And it's a lot of fun. So thank you so much for listening to me. I'm going to hand it over to Emma and we're going to wrap up the call.
Yeah, just to add on to what Daniela was saying, really, the two scenarios, you've got your worst case scenario and your best case scenario. And for me, when I was looking at starting my Arbonne business, £56 was quite a bit of a big deal for me. I didn't have a spare £56, but it was at that point I realised if I didn't do something different, I would never have a spare £56. So I made a few changes to things that month to make sure I could come up with it, because the worst case scenario was I spent this £56, didn't manage to sell anything, didn't manage to sponsor anybody into my team, but was left with some products that I was going to use anyway, and I'd made some new friends and probably learned quite a bit. That was my worst case scenario. The best case scenario was I did manage to sell some products, I did manage to sponsor people and mentor them to create their own successful businesses, and ended up creating something incredible. And obviously the best case scenario far outweighed the worst case scenario, so it was a no-brainer for me. So thank you very much, Daniela, for having me do the Discover Arbonne presentation with you. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. And do contact whoever introduced you to this call so that you can have all of your questions answered. We love questions. I love questions. Emma loves questions. Any other independent consultant, we love to talk about Arbonne. So send them your questions, get all your questions answered, and then make a choice based on those 3 places that you see yourself that Emma talked about. And it's been lovely to have you all on the call tonight. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.